Welcome to Baby Boomer Tales. My name is Jim. Thank you for riding along today on this final podcast of November 2024. Please visit our webpage at babyboomertales.com. Everything Baby Boomer Tales podcast is right there on that webpage. I had a colonoscopy just the other day. Ever since I got one about 60 years old, they've had me go back every 3 to 5 years. The last time I had one, I made a podcast about it. I had just gotten some new hearing aids and they had an app on my phone for the hearing aids. And I had a new colonoscopy doctor and he was a low talker, you know what I mean, low talker. So I was trying to make it louder on my app and he started yelling at me about not listening to what he was trying to tell me before I went into the procedure. And the nurses rescued me and it was a big brouhaha for sure. My old doctor had retired and this new guy, well, that was 3 years ago. So I had to have an appointment again the other day. So I was a little apprehensive about running into this guy again. But I made a game plan, and so we're sitting in the waiting room. There's about 100 old folks there, you know what I mean, and a few younger ones also, but we're all sitting there waiting to get this thing. And I've told you about colonoscopies before, and that last podcast I made about it, how I complained about the procedure the night before, even the morning before now. But the procedure itself's not bad, except for this new doctor of mine. Well, my game plan was, as soon as they called my name and I had to go to the back with this nurse, I gave my phone to my wife. And I went in there, and she was real nice. They always are. The nurses are always real nice. And got me all going, ready to have this. And this doctor finally comes in, right before they wheel me back there and knock me out and all that. And he came in just talking, just as loud as could be, almost shouting. "Hello, Jim. How are you doing? I'm Dr. M, and I'll be your doctor today," and yada, 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 yada. And I just sat there and nodded my head, and I thought, this is amazing. He's really speaking up. Well, he must have had instructions on my chart, probably put there by the nurses, about my hearing and don't talk so low, he can't hear you or something. Anyway, he overcompensated. He does not have a good bedside manner. Not like the last guy. My last doctor was great. But this guy, you know, I was a little apprehensive, like I said, about meeting up with him again. But he said his piece and left, and that's the last time I saw him. Next time he came in, I was still asleep after the procedure. I guess he told Kim everything he needed to tell her. I'm sure he tried to avoid me. And that's okay. I'll go back to him. This time it's 5 years because the pictures of my colon were much better, apparently. You know, they give you colored pictures. So I had the colonoscopy and it was a great sleep and I don't mind it at all. And my wife took me out for a milkshake on our way home. I got to drink my milkshake as she drove me home. So that was okay. The worst part is drinking that nasty stuff. And I've got it figured out. I get the stuff from the doc's office instead of the pharmacy, and it's less stuff. It's more potent or something. I don't have to drink a gallon of it. Just a couple glasses. That's bad enough. I can't imagine that I used to drink a gallon of that. Oh, nasty, nasty. It doesn't even taste good. You'd think they'd at least make it taste good. But they don't. And then you're on the toilet for hours and hours. And I was trying to watch a game and I'd sit down and then about 2 or 3 minutes later I have to get up and go to the bathroom. I should have put, I just watched the game on my phone in the bathroom. I didn't even think of that. That had probably made the game go faster. Okay, well, enough of that. Thanksgiving's coming up. We know that. It'll be here tomorrow. So are you ready for Turkey Day? If you're in the United States. If you're somewhere else, and I get about 25% of my audiences from other parts of the world, 75% for the United States. Now for the top 10 55 years ago. That's the top 10 popular songs this week in 1969. Number 10, Eli's Coming, Three Dog Night. Number 9 by Creedence Clearwater Revival, Down on the Corner, Fortunate Son. Number 8, Yester Me, Yester You, Yesterday, Stevie Wonder. Number 7 by Peter, Paul and Mary, Leaving on a Jet Plane. Number 6, Smile Little, Smile for Me, The Flying Machine. Number 5 by Steam, Na Na Hey Hey, Kiss Him Goodbye. Number 4, Take a Letter Maria, R.B. Greaves. Number 3, Wedding Bell Blues, The Fifth Dimension. Number 2, And When I Die, Blood, Sweat and Tears. And the number 1 song by the Beatles, Come Together and Something. Something in the way she moves. Since we're going to celebrate the American Thanksgiving tomorrow, one big part of that feast, besides turkey and mashed potatoes and sweet potatoes and green bean casserole and cranberries, and mashed potatoes and gravy and pumpkin pie, there's other kind of pies too. It is truly a feast. Usually, most everybody gets to feast on that day. It's a wonderful day for that. Food and football. That's what Thanksgiving seems to be all about. But what it really is about is giving thanks to God Almighty and for the United States of America. Now, if you're not from the United States of America, you can be thankful for your country. So I thought I would do a little list here of favorite pies. And what it is, this list is, I'll go from 10 to number 1 favorite. And the way I got this list is the favorite pie of each state in the United States. And whoever had the most of a certain pie, that's like number 1. So there turned out to be 3 pies that didn't make the top 10. And they were Marionberry, peach, and sweet potato. They each had 1 or 2 states. Marionberry is a blackberry. It's thornless. The berries are larger. We used to have marionberries growing around here when I first bought this property, and they were wonderful. But of course, they've gone away now. I pulled the last of the plants up years ago. The birds would eat them before I ever got to them. But they are a wonderful blackberry. They really are. You don't have to deal with the thorns to get them. So let's start here. We'll do a countdown of the top 10. Number 10, lemon meringue. Number 9, banana cream. Number 8, Boston cream. Number 7, key lime. Number 6, chocolate. Number 5, blueberry. Number 4, pecan. Number 3, apple. Number 2, pumpkin. Yeah, we're looking at Thanksgiving, aren't we? And the number 1 pie in the United States, cherry. It had 11 states that it was their number 1 pie. So they made first place. If I was going to have my favorites, I think I'd do apple first, cherry second, banana cream third. The 10th one would be pecan. After that, I don't know. It's a toss-up. Now for another little list. I was just going to ramble on, and then I got this great idea to do a couple lists. Pies, you know, why not? It's Thanksgiving. The other one is brands that are no more. Businesses, brands, stores, restaurants, vehicles, whatever. I'm going to give you the name of the entity and the years they were open. We'll start with Blockbuster. Remember them? Video rentals. Blockbuster came into business in 1985 and went out in 2013. Redbox has followed their lead now. Redbox is no more. The way I got thinking about doing this list is in the Kansas City metro area, all of the Applebee's have closed. I don't know if that is a national deal. I should have looked that up. Or if it's just a regional situation. But they're gone. There are no more in Kansas City metro area, apparently. I just read an article about that, how ex-employees are upset. You think? Circuit City, 1949 through 2009. Now, they went to 2012 online, so they went 3 more years where they didn't have a brick and mortar store, but they did some online sales. Radio Shack, 1921 to 2017. Oldsmobile, 1897 through 2004. That was part of the great GM family where you bought a Chevy and you worked your way up to a Cadillac. And Oldsmobile was right in the middle there somewhere. Toys R Us, 1948 through 2018. Hard to imagine they've been gone 6 years now. Kodak, they did not keep up. They were a major player. 1888 they went into business, and they went out of business in 2012. F.W. Woolworth Company, 1879 through 1997. They lasted over 100 years like Kodak, but then the 20th century finally caught up with them. Bed Bath & Beyond. Now they were called Bed & Bath between 1971 through 87, and then they went until 2023 as Bed Bath & Beyond, and then they went out of business. Pontiac, 1926 to 2010. Borders Books. A bookstore is almost a dinosaur. Maybe we can blame Amazon. I don't know. The way I read books anymore are digital downloads. I just get them from my library, and when I'm done with the book, I just check it in. Never touch a thing. It's just all on my phone. Borders Books, 1971 through 2011. Payless Shoes, 1956 through 2020. Pier 1, 1962 through 2020. Now, they did have an online presence. I'm not sure if they still do. I don't think they do. Here's one. Affects all of us if you're a baby boomer. Ringling Brothers, Barnum and Bailey Circus, 1884 through 2017. If you've never seen The Greatest Showman, the movie, now it's a musical, but it's good. It's about P.T. Barnum. I think the guy that played Wolverine plays Barnum, and he is better looking than old Barnum. But it's a good movie. It is. Luby's Cafeteria, 1947 through 2020. Boy, 2020 was a tough year on some of these guys. Mercury, 1939 through 2011. Falstaff Beer, 1903 through 2005. Here's one I worked for them. When I first moved to the Kansas City area after I stopped mowing lawns, I started mowing lawns because I went through a terrible, awful, stressful business situation in Colorado. Moved here and just wanted to put my emotions and my brain in neutral, so I just mowed lawns for about 1.5 years. And then I went to work for Montgomery Ward and worked there for, 6 or 7 years, I think. It was a good job for me. I sold appliances and electronics, and we were able to buy a house and then buy this property and build our house here. Now, I wasn't working for Ward's when we built our house here, but the foundation I had from working at Ward's those years. Now, it was a love-hate relationship. I quit them 3 times, and they come back to me because I was pretty good at what I did and sweeten the pot a little, and I go back. That really was not a bad time in my life, but they're no longer there. Monkey Wards. Polaroid, 1937 through 2001. Remember the land camera? Instant pictures. It's not like you just take a picture and look at your phone. You take that picture and kick it out and then you watch it kind of develop. Everybody go ooh and ah. And the last one on our list, another shoe store, Kenny's Shoes. Started in 1894 and went through 1998. 104 years. It's amazing how businesses can come and go. Now these were the big guys, big time. Not like a little store like what I had up there in that little hometown of mine in north central Colorado Rocky Mountains. I had a nice little department store. We sold kids' clothes, ladies' clothes, men's clothes, work clothes, shoes and boots, bedding and linen. And one bad year put us right out of business. You could say the Ambassador's General Store was from 1985 through 1988. That was a bad deal in that little town, but that town has rebounded really pretty well. And I don't know if something like that would ever happen again. But very many of my friends lost businesses back in that day. But we survived. We survived. My family was intact. My marriage was intact. And all we actually lost was some stuff. Now we have way too much stuff around here. We're trying to sell some of it to kind of downsize. Have a very nice Thanksgiving. It's a wonderful time of year. When tomorrow comes, remember, just stop no matter what you're doing and give thanks. Wake up each day with a grateful heart. Always try to be kind. You'll be glad with yourself when you are. I'll be back next Wednesday. Peace out.